to read the 10 offenses to the holy name, which are to be avoided, written by Srila Vyasadeva in the Padma Purana. Number 1, to blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their lives for propagating the holy name of the Lord. Number 2, to consider the names of demigods like Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma to be equal to or independent of the name of Lord Vishnu. 3, to disobey the orders of the spiritual master. 4, to blaspheme the Vedic scriptures or scripture in reference to the Vedic version. 5, to consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be an imagination. 6, to give some interpretation to the holy name of the Lord. 7, to commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name. 8, to consider the chanting of Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious ritual activities which are offered in the Vedas as fruitive activities, Karma Kanda. 9, to instruct a faithless person about the glories of the holy name. 10, to not have complete faith in the chanting of the holy name and to maintain material attachment even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to achieve the desired success, Krishna Prema. Once again, I thank everyone for joining the Bhakti Sanga conference call today. Let us move to our next session, which is Srimad Bhagavatam class. May I know who all have joined the call this morning?
Hare Krishna, Varna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. Preeti Dasi from Charlotte. Hare Krishna, nice background.
Hare Krishna, Preeti Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Vardhana Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. This is Vinita Gandharvika Devidasi from College Station, Texas.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Vardhana Mataji, Guru Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj's. My humble obeisances to you and all the devotees. This is Krishna Kumari Devidasi from Radha.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Kumari Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Vardhana Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. My humble obeisances to all the assembled devotees. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga. This is Sushmita from Canada.
Hare Krishna, Sushmita Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Vardhana Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. This is Shama Gauri Devidasi from Charlotte.
Hare Krishna, Shama Gauri Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Is anybody else would like to introduce themselves? Welcoming all of you to the Bhakti Sanga conference call. Today we are very fortunate to have His Holiness Candramauli Swami Maharaj. Maharaj is going to enlighten us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam, 7th canto, 12th chapter, verse number 12, 13 and 14. Before diving into the call, I'll hand over the call to Suresh or Shyam Prabhuji to give brief introduction of His Holiness Candramauli Swami Maharaj. Hare Krishna Prabhu. Please take over the call, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. His Holiness Candramauli Swami Maharaj is a disciple of ISKCON founder Acharya, His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, and an initiating spiritual master within the ISKCON movement. Maharaj was born in New Jersey, and Maharaj came in contact with International Society for Krishna Consciousness in Denver, Colorado at the age of 24. In 1973, he has begun practicing Krishna consciousness in New York City, and shortly thereafter began serving at the New Vrindavan Farm Community in West Virginia. That same year, he received initiation from His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. In 1986, His Holiness Candramauli Maharaj accepted the sannyas order and began preaching in Cincinnati and Columbus, Ohio. In 1995, he began serving as a resident sannyasi in Chicago, where he was based until 2013, when he relocated to Arlokia, Croatia. At present, His Holiness Chandramauli Swami offers spiritual guidance around Europe, US, and India. Hare Krishna Mataji, here is a brief introduction, Mataji.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna Maharaj. I think Maharaj is on the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna Maharaj, Dandavats Pranam, please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very much, Maharaj, for giving your valuable time and association to us this morning and enlightening on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam. Thank you so much, Maharaj. Now I hand over the call to you. Hare Krishna. Please bless all of us, Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, my obeisances. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Ajana Bhyajano Marda. Sri Avale Kami Samadhu. Sragadam Lepalankarams. Tvajayor Ye Brihat Vrataha. Brahmacharis or grihastas who have taken the vow of celibacy as described above should not indulge in the following: applying powder or ointment to the eyes, massaging the head with oil, massaging the body with hands, seeing a woman or painting a woman's picture, eating meat, drinking wine, decorating the body with flower garlands, smearing scented ointment on the body, or decorating the body with ornaments. These they should give up. Text 13 and 14. Utsavalvam Guru Kule Dvijaditya Babudyacha Trayam Sango Panishadam Yavanartam Yatapalam Dadvavaram Manugyato Guru Kama Yadishvaraha Griham Vanu Vapavishyat Pavijat Tatravasat. According to the rules and regulations mentioned above, one who was twice born, namely a Brahmana, Kshatriya, or Vaishya, should reside in the Gurukul under the care of the spiritual master. There he should study and learn all the Vedic literatures along with the supplements and the Upanishads, according to his ability and power to study. If possible, the student or disciple should reward the spiritual master with the remuneration the spiritual master requests. And then, following the master's order, the disciple should leave and accept one of the other ashrams, namely Grihastha ashram, Vanaprastha ashram, or Sannyasa ashram as he desires. Purport. To study the Vedas and understand them, of course, requires some special intelligence by the members of the three higher sections of society, namely Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, and Vaishyas, must learn the Vedic literatures according to their capacity and power to understand. In other words, studying the Vedic literature is compulsory for everyone but the Sudras and Antyajas. The Vedic literature gives the knowledge that one can lead one to the understanding of the absolute truth, Brahman, Paramatma, or Bhagavan, Gurukula, or the reformatory educational institution, should be used only to understand Vedic knowledge. At the present time, there are many educational institutions for training in technology, but such knowledge has nothing to do with understanding the absolute truth. Technology, therefore, is meant for the Sudras, whereas the Vedas are meant for the Dvijas. Consequently, this verse states, Dvijo Dvitya Vabudhya Chatrayam Sango Pandisham. At the present time, the age of Kali, practically everyone is a Sudra, and no one is a Dvija. Therefore, the condition of society has very much deteriorated. Another point to be observed from this verse is that the Brahmachari ashram, from the Brahmachari ashram, one may accept the sannyas ashram, vanaprastha ashram, or grihastha ashram. It is not compulsory for a brahmachari to become a grihastha, because the ultimate aim is to understand the absolute truth. There is no necessity of going through all the different ashrams. Thus one may proceed to the sannyas ashram directly from the Brahmachari ashram. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur accepted the sannyas ashram directly from the Brahmachari ashram. In other words, His Divine Grace, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, did not think it compulsory to accept the Grihastha ashram or the Vanaprastha ashram. Om Gyanta Mirandasya Girajana Salakaya Chaksun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Vastaya Bhutale. Best to leave it on the purport instead of the translation. Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gaudavani Pacharine Nirvisesa Sunyavari Pastyatya De Satarne Panchakalpa Tarubhascha Kripa Sindhuve Pachapatitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namaho Namaha. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sri Vasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So ashram means place of spiritual cultivation. And there, as it's listed here, there are 4 ashrams. Here we're hearing about the Brahmachari ashram. And one of the main principles is they should learn the Vedas. Or, according to their power of learning, learn as much as they can about Vedic literature, Vedic knowledge, which is the foundation for understanding the absolute truth. Knowledge is a direction in the way of the goal. So if one has sufficient amount of Vedic knowledge, then one can avoid the entanglement of material energy and at the same time elevate one's consciousness to the platform of transcendence. As Krishna explains in the Bhagavad Gita, that this knowledge cuts through the illusion of material attachment. Material attachment is another form of illusion because we are not this body, and therefore the attachments that we gain in this material world are simply based on the body, and which supposedly gives some type of satisfaction. But because we are contrary to the body or different from the body, we cannot enjoy something that is different from our nature. We're spirit, therefore we can only find satisfaction, happiness, and success in life on the spiritual platform. And therefore, this attachment to the material world simply is another form of illusion which gives one the wrong conception of life and at the same time takes one away from the real conception or the ultimate conception of life, realizing the absolute truth. That absolute truth is a person, and that person manifests himself in different forms of himself. And the supreme form of that manifestation is Sri Krishna himself. So knowledge is necessary in order to get free from the entanglement of material energy and move towards the spiritual. And also knowledge is important because it awakens one's attachment to Krishna. And as the more knowledge we have of Krishna, the more we develop attraction for Krishna. And as attraction becomes intensified, it turns into attachment for Krishna. And that attachment manifests itself in different expressions of loving devotion towards the Supreme Lord. So this knowledge is the foundation for awakening one's natural propensity, or what we say natural, one's nature to love Krishna. Here it talks about how one may transition from one ashram to another. There is a class of people who say that Brahmacharis should get married, and then after some years, they should leave that ashram when the children are grown up and there's no more need, and then take Vanaprast, finish their term of spiritual practice within Vanaprast, and then take the renounced order of life, which is the ultimate principle of detachment from everything in the material world. But Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati shows by example, and also talks about that one can go directly to the sannyas ashram from Brahmachari. There's no need to go through the other ashrams. So, provided one gets the blessings and permission from one's spiritual master. And so as it says here, therefore, as the spiritual master decides, the brahmachari will follow and accept that ashram, which is beneficial for his continuation of spiritual life. Sannyas means sannyasa. Nyasa means detachment, to become detached from everything in this material world and become attached to the principle of devotion to Krishna. So everyone, no matter what gender they are in terms of male or female, or what ashram they are, has to come to the point of complete detachment from everything. Whether we are in the Grihastha ashram or whether in any ashram, we still have to eventually move to the point of complete detachment. Otherwise, one cannot achieve the perfection of life, which is to go back home, back to the spiritual world, and live eternally in pure spiritual consciousness, serving the Supreme Lord in devotion, which is the ultimate principle of happiness and the goal of the human form of life. So, but anyway, everyone has to be detached. For those who are in the female body, after they finish their responsibilities in family life, and children are grown up, there's no more need for any kind of bodily relationships. They detach themselves from the family and go to a holy place and worship the Supreme Lord in that holy place. And then they take a type of sannyas, which is more or less of an earlier stage of sannyas, which is known as Vanaprast. Of course, Vanaprast is not recommended in this age in terms of the actual standards by which Vanaprast is described. Vana means forest and prast means dweller, to live in the forest and simply depend on Krishna and live according to That's whatever the forest provides. No one can do that in this age, and it's not recommended. But Banaprasthana is a gradual moving away from the attachments that household life has. Because in household life, we develop so many attachments. We get attached to our family, we get attached to our husband, we get attached to our wife, we get attached to our children, we get attached to the occupations that we have for making money. We get attached to so many things. Household life, it can simply be a whole honeycomb full of attachments. But if one lives in Grihastha life and learns how to see everything in relationship to Krishna and use everything for the service of Krishna, even in household life, they can reduce their attachments down to practically nil. Of course, one has to practice that, and one has to cultivate spiritual knowledge simultaneously to know that the first principle of spiritual knowledge is we are not this body. Unless we understand that, at least theoretically, and act accordingly, we cannot make any progress in spiritual life. We think we're something according to the designations of this body. That is a form of illusion. We accept the body at the time of birth. We give up the body at the time of death. And we usually come again and accept another body, and we start the whole cycle all over again. So we're accepting bodies life after life in different situations. The scriptures say, Karanam guna sango syo sadasad joni janmasu. From going to the higher planets, down to the lower planets, in the middle planets, life after life, Mayadavase, Kacho Bese, Kacho Ho Bubu Dubai. That life after life we accept these illusionary bodies, and we think that these bodies are us. Therefore, we act according that way, and we develop attachments for the body and the things related to the body. But all of this is janasa moham yamaham mameti. It's all an illusion. Our real under identity and our real only success is to come to the spiritual platform, which is the nature of the soul's existence. Therefore, ashram is a chance, according to one's proclivities, to cultivate spiritual consciousness accordingly. So one may live in a certain ashram, but one should understand what are the principles by which one governs that ashram, and not simply live like a grihamedi, thinking, well, this is my wife, this is my husband, this is my dog, this is my car, this is my bank balance. All of these is janasa moham. Moham means illusion. Aham mameti, these illusions of I and mine. So therefore one should practice the principles of ashram according to the scriptures, and especially guidance by the spiritual master, which helps one to live within the ashram and detach oneself from all material identities and all material desires. So it's not just for brahmachari, it's for everyone ultimately. Here you're hearing about brahmachari. I think there is either upcoming or perhaps you already went through the Grihastha ashram, but in any ashram, one has to become Krishna conscious. That's the meaning of ashram, not simply a place for getting some kind of material arrangements and then practicing spiritual life based on these illusionary arrangements. No. Okay, so these are some of the principles. Here we're hearing about the Brahmacharis. Brahmacharis are the foundation of the varnashram system. And the sannyas is the leader of this sannyas system. Even for ladies who enter into a type of ashram, they can cultivate in the same way the brahmacharis do, live in an ashram full of ladies and cultivate spiritual knowledge and work under the guidance of a spiritual master. So in any case, whatever gender it is, our duty is to become Krishna conscious. And the ashram is the foundation by which we practice those principles that lead us away from material attachments, especially cultivation of transcendental knowledge and devotional activities guided by the spiritual master. Otherwise, Maya lavase kacho bese kacho habu dulai. Life after life after life, we have to keep coming back in different species of life, sometimes in good species, sometimes in not so good species, different planets, different situations. We've done this for how many millions of births? We've been in this material world that's uncountable. The conditioned soul in the material world is called Nitya Baddha. Nitya means eternal, and Baddha means conditioned. So the term Nitya Baddha applies to the living entities in the material world who cannot trace out when they first became attached to the material world. It's not possible. It's life after life after life. But we want to end this cycle, and here's the way to end it: cultivating transcendental knowledge, engaging in devotional service, according to the designated ashram given by the spiritual master. And gradually, by the mercy of the spiritual master and by the seriousness of the participant in executing the instructions of the spiritual master, one will attain transcendental consciousness or pure consciousness, which is the natural consciousness of the soul's existence. So these are some principles that we can think about in relationship to ashram. Okay, so we can stop here and see if there's any questions or comments.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, thank you. Thank you so much for very enlightening points, Maharaj. If anybody have any questions or realization you'd like to share, please unmute yourself and please go ahead with your questions. Krishna Kaviraj Prabhu, please go ahead with your question.
You can stop sharing now.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to you, Guru Maharaj. All glories to all of the Vaishnavas. Guru Maharaj, you said, I actually have two questions, but I'll ask one now and I'll ask one later, give others a chance. Guru Maharaj, you said that knowledge increases our attraction to Krishna. So there are different types of knowledge. It's like, as one example, we have knowledge of the philosophy and knowledge of Leela. And I wondered if the different types of knowledge have different roles to play in attracting us and attaching us to Krishna.
Yeah, the foundation, as Krishna begins the teachings of Bhagavad Gita, he begins by saying, never was a time that I did not exist, nor you, nor all these kings, nor in this future shall any of us cease to be. That's the first statement he says to Arjuna. After giving Arjuna the instructions to fight, Arjuna was confused, didn't want to fight, and Krishna chastised him in the previous verse number 12, and then in verse number 13 in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna clearly makes this statement that you are eternal, I am eternal, and all of these kings on the battlefield are also eternal. So that's the foundation of all transcendental knowledge, to at least theoretically know and to act in that capacity that I am not this body. I am part and parcel of Krishna. That is my identity. Jiver Surupai Krishna Nityada. From that foundation of preliminary knowledge, one can start to understand higher knowledge. And higher knowledge is of course, the first knowledge is the difference between matter and spirit, between what is eternal and what is temporary. And higher knowledge is our relationship with Krishna. And first, there's another knowledge, and that is the knowledge of Krishna. Who is Krishna? What is his nature? What is his relationship with the living entities? What is his relationship with the material world? What is his relationship with his eternal associates in the spiritual world? What is his activities when he comes into the material world to perform spiritual activities? So knowledge of Krishna is the topmost form of knowledge because it attracts us to Krishna and brings us to the point of attaching our life in devotional service. So we have to learn about Krishna, but we also have to understand the foundation by which all knowledge evolves, and that is we're spiritual beings, not material beings. We have a body, but we're not the body. So there's a different, at least 2 or 3 different categories of knowledge.
Thank you, Maharaj. And can we learn these alongside each other?
Yeah, you have to always be aware that the execution of devotional service is on the spiritual platform. It's not on the material platform. And the execution of activities that are similar to devotional service, but are done for personal gratification, personal gain, these are material. There's different levels there's karma yoga, working for Krishna and giving Krishna a share of the results of your working. That's karma yoga. Jnana yoga is cultivation of transcendental knowledge, the difference between matter and spirit, and practicing various types of austerities to get one off the bodily platform. The bhakti is to engage in devotional service, to serve the Lord with a desire to please the Lord under the direction of Krishna's representative, the pure devotee spiritual master.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj.
So all of these other levels of spiritual attainment have a certain limited amounts of knowledge, but the complete knowledge is bhakti. Because bhakti resonates with the nature of the soul. That means to love and serve Krishna, not simply to cultivate knowledge or detach oneself from material activities. These are preliminary stages. They're included in bhakti, but there are also certain types of programs in and of itself. Jnana yoga, karma yoga, Ashtanga yoga. The bhakti is the highest and complete yoga. Bhakti is the nature of the soul.
Very much. I feel that there's get nourished in different ways by different types of knowledge. For example, I was like carefully reading the Bhagavad Gita, and I was feeling nourished by that, and I was relishing it, but I was also feeling an emptiness. And then I started hearing a series of classes by Indra Maharaj on Krishna pastimes, Vrindavan pastimes, and I'm finding that relishing, and that was helping me with the reading as well of the philosophy. So I felt that they were both nourishing in different ways.
Yeah, we have to hear and also chant about Krishna, because unless we hear about Krishna, how we will develop our attraction for Krishna.
Thank you very much.
Pastimes are on the transcendental platform. And they attract the soul automatically for one who seriously and regularly hears these activities of the Lord. Oh yeah, scriptures are full of statements. Satam prasangam mama virya samvido bhavanti ridkarna rasayana kata. That kata, which is rasayana, sweet, full of nectar, is to hear and chant the glories of the Lord. And particularly Krishna and Vrindavan, as followers of Lord Chaitanya, but all of Krishna's pastimes are transcendental, and they also attract the soul. Some people are attracted to Ram, others to Narayan's forms, others to Lord Nrsingadev. These are all forms of the Lord, but the highest, the most complete, and recommended form of the Lord is Krishna. And therefore, as followers of Lord Chaitanya who worship Krishna, we find complete satisfaction and happiness in hearing about Krishna's pastimes, especially in Vrindavan. And his qualities also. If we don't take time to do that, then we're missing out. Because to have that knowledge available is a great amount of benefit, but not to use it is the greatest mistake, the greatest anomaly. If somebody gives you a check for $1 million and you stick it in your bank account and you leave it there and you never use it, you may say I'm rich, but you're not really. You haven't done anything different. You have this mental idea that I have wealth. So to have access to Krishna's pastimes is a great privilege, coming from the mercy of Krishna through the acharyas, especially Srimad Bhagavatam. But not taking advantage of it is the greatest misfortune. So if we don't hear and chant the glories of the Lord, we won't really develop attraction for Krishna. And if we don't develop our attraction for Krishna, our attraction for material energy will continue.
Thank you so much, Maharaj. Sridevi Mataji, please go ahead, Mataji, with your question.
Thank you. Dear Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. So we see in this particular purport, Guru Maharaj, how Brahmachari ashram, Grihastha ashram, Sannyas ashram, etc., all these are meant for one's purification ultimately. But what if I'm a Brahmachari and I think, oh, this Grihastha ashram is a great botheration. I will join ISKCON. I get a nice place to stay. I get food to eat. I have to do a little service. Yes, I have to do some chanting. But then, I'm sheltered for my life. And I don't have this botheration of wife, children, having to go to work, earn money. I can just stay safely within ISKCON and that will be good for me. If we go into Brahmachari ashram with this motivation, will we slowly get purified anyway? Or because the motivation is not correct, we will not, be able to make it?
Well, the word ashram means place of spiritual cultivation. You have to work under the guidance of the spiritual master. Brahmachari ashram means strict guidance by the spiritual master. Householders are giving a little less restriction. I give a little individual freedom in order to maintain their material necessity. But Brahmachari doesn't mean you have an apartment somewhere and you put on saffron. Brahmachari means in the ashram, in the temple, in the ashram. In association with other brahmacharis.
So unless one is really and truly motivated to follow the principles of Brahmachari ashram, one will not be able to make it through the ashram if one comes with, some spurious motivations.
Well, they should try, because brahmacharya is foundational for development in all the ashrams. Therefore, they can purify themselves if they enter into the ashram and follow. It's not that you have to be pure in motivation when you enter. You just have to have some desire to make advancements in spiritual life.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj.
For those who go directly to the Grihastha ashram without cultivating a brahmachari ashram or brahmacharini ashram, they find their spiritual life is difficult because they don't really know the foundation of how to execute Grihastha ashram. Brahmachari can prepare one for Grihastha because we develop a sense of detachment. If you come into the Grihastha ashram with a desire to enjoy, then you will not be able to make any advancement. It simply become, what we say, we call it Grihameti, thinking that, well, now I have a wife or a husband, now here's my principle of enjoyment. Well, the principle of enjoyment is Krishna, not anything else. So service to Krishna.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Rasvilashni Radha Mataji, please unmute yourself and go with your question. Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Gurudev and all devotees. Maharaj, I had a question, just like we are spirit souls, not this body. But it takes an entire lifetime to truly accept this fact. So whatever happened to us, like lust, anger, greed, all of it rises from this body because somewhere we are not accepting that we are not the body but the spirit soul. So what is the right way to come out of these situations?
Training, education. Training and education. That's what ashram is meant. Doesn't take a lifetime to develop it. It can be done very quickly, or it can take many lifetimes. Depends on how serious you are and how much you apply the principles. You have to know how to perform the activities according to your ashram. Just because you're married doesn't mean you're a grihastha. You have to follow the grihastha principles, or the principles for every ashram. And one has to work under the guidance of the spiritual master. That's there for all the ashrams too. Of course, the sannyasa ashram is a more mature ashram where they can more or less arrange their own devotional activities, but it's limited because it's simply traveling and preaching Krishna consciousness.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Shyama Gauri Mataji, please go ahead, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for all your blessings. Thank you for coming on the call, giving such a nice class. Thank you so much.
Hare
I
Krishna.
don't have any questions. Uh,
Okay. You are sannyasi anyway.
oh
So
no, Maharaj.
sannyasi grihastha.
I need your blessings, Maharaj.
You're an example of ideal grihastha, using all your time and energy in Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada calls that grihastha paramahansa, when one is fully engaged in devotional service in the grihastha ashram.
You are, you see, good things in even the blade of the grass. So what to speak of me, Maharaj? You can
When,
always see good in others. Thank
when
you
I,
so much.
when I see you dancing in kirtan, and I know
I can't stop. I cannot stop.
your enthusiasm for kirtan and your expression in that enthusiasm is very, very attractive, very inspirational. Yeah.
Thank
Is
you
there-
so much, Maharaj.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Maharaj. Do you have some more time, Maharaj? There is one Mataji raised her hand.
Keep going. I have
Yes.
plenty.
Sakshi Mataji, please go ahead, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Hare Krishna to all the devotees. Just a second. Hare Krishna Maharaj, sorry. Maharaj, my question is, in one of your previous classes, you were speaking about the nature of a neophyte devotee and how they have the tendency to understand the Shastras incorrectly, in a wrong way. So, can you speak a little more about it and how to, rise from that platform?
Yeah, we hear the explanations. We read the Shastras, we ask questions, we go to the classes, and we hear the explanations from the spiritual masters, and we get a clarification, understanding. And then if we simply read, there's something beneficial there. And if you don't understand what you read, then you have to ask questions. But if it's clear, then you can continue to read, but your understanding will be how much you apply that knowledge in your life. You can't say, I understand, but you don't do anything different. You have to apply it. So it's called reading, understanding, application. Application leads to realization. Realization leads to good qualities that develop within the character of the devotee. Skills, good qualities. This is the ultimate result of reading. We develop spiritual character, spiritual qualities. And we also learn about Krishna, and we can talk about Krishna. We're eager to hear about Krishna. All of these things are expanding from the principle of hearing. But if you're hearing and you don't understand, then ask. Or, says that one should ask questions based on to understand the knowledge that one is receiving. But if it's clear,
Thank you so much, Maharaj.
then you should just follow and just execute that knowledge in practice. And
Thank you so much, Maharaj.
it's
Hare
like
Krishna.
it says that If you chant the holy names of the Lord, you'll become free from all material attachments. You'll develop attraction for Krishna. You'll push back the effects of material suffering, and you'll awaken your love for Krishna. So, if we chant in that mood, that I am actually making advancement, I'm actually purifying my heart, I'm actually developing my attraction for Krishna, then you're chanting in the right frame of mind. If you're chanting just to finish your 16 rounds so you can do something else, then that's not really actually chanting. It's just some kind of mechanical activity to finish some responsibility so you can go on to something different. So everything has to be done in the right consciousness.
Thank you so much, Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Maharaj. Sridevi Mataji, do you have follow-up question?
Yeah, if I may. Guru Maharaj, I would like to know, in Grihastha ashram, there are definite stages of progression. One finishes with Brahmachari ashram, then one enters Grihastha ashram, one carries out all the activities of Grihastha ashram. Slowly one becomes detached. One enters Vanaprastha ashram, and then one, if it is possible, then one of the people, generally the male, takes sannyas. But in Brahmacharya ashram, you're just in one ashram, and one fine day you say, now I'm taking sannyas. So how do we know that brahmachari is at that level? What are the stages even in Brahmacharya ashram that tells that person is maturing and is ready for sannyas ashram?
Well, it mentioned in the purport there. Yeah, it's written in the purport. The one we read today. Go to the purport again. You can find that statement.
It says not compulsory to, for a brahmachari to become a grihastha, because the ultimate aim is to understand the absolute truth. One may proceed to the sannyas ashram directly from the brahmacharya ashram. But that's what I'm...
Yeah, go down the page. Yeah, it says here, because the ultimate aim is understanding, there's no necessary goal. Thus one may proceed to directly from the... Yeah. Okay, so well, here it says, where is he saying? Maybe it's in the, I think it might be in the translation. Go to the translation. Here. If the student should reward the spiritual master with remuneration, the spiritual master requests, and then, following the master's order, disciples should leave and accept one of the other ashrams. Following the master's orders. So he'll say, okay, you have matured in Brahmachari ashram. Now you should move on to Grihastha or Sannyas. As he desires, refers to the spiritual master, not to the disciple.
So that means when the brahmachari is mature in his spiritual life, and when the spiritual master sees that he has advanced to that level, then only he will award that brahmachari sannyas. Is that correct?
He can, or he may say, you're not ready for it. I know some spiritual masters that don't give out sannyas so easily, and others do. They give it out more easily. Prabhupada gave it out fairly easy, but then when he saw that people were not able to maintain that ashram, he stopped. But you'll see, no one can surreptitiously or automatically simply decide to go to the sannyasa ashram without the permission of the spiritual master. Can't do that. You can try it, but it won't work. You won't have the blessings of the spiritual master. You won't be able to execute the duties of the ashram that you enter into. The only time you can act on your own in the grihastha, in the brahmachari ashram, is when the spiritual master says, I think you should move into the grihastha ashram. And the brahmachari will say, no, I don't want to enter into grihastha ashram. And the spiritual master say, well, I think you should do it. And then the brahmachari will say, well, give me a chance and I'm going to stay in the brahmachari ashram. And then he has to accelerate his brahmachari activities and show the spiritual master he's worthy of that ashram. That's the only way he can somehow or other get around that instruction of moving into it. But he has to show that he's qualified to stay in the brahmachari ashram. If the spiritual master says, now it's time for grihastha. So that's the only exception. There's no other exception. Otherwise, you have to follow the spiritual master. Okay.
Yeah, thank you, Maharaj. Balkrishna Prabhu, please go ahead with your question, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj.
Wait a minute, Sri Devi, are you?
Oh, okay.
Did you get that?
I don't think so, Guru Maharaj. If you don't mind, can you repeat?
No, just listen to the recording. I explained it.
Okay. I'll listen to the recording.
What's so difficult? Whoa, everybody else got it. Why didn't you get it?
My brain is not working too good. I'm very distracted today, Guru Maharaj. I'm traveling tomorrow. That's why. I'll listen to the recording again.
Yeah, it's there.
Yeah, go ahead, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to you, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, and all glories to Vaishnavas everywhere. Guru Maharaj, my question is, how do you pray for good people? Let me explain. So throughout
you went
Prabhu,
back
yeah.
on. You
Yeah.
went back on mute.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't know how I got muted. Yeah. So when I was very young, I would only pray to the Lord. I didn't know Krishna specifically. I knew Krishna, but so in distress or distress for somebody else, and prayers would only be for bad people. Oh, this drunk uncle who fell off a motorcycle, dear Lord, please, glance your merciful, let him recover nicely and let him stand on his feet or something like that. Or, terrible things. Something interesting happened at the temple. A wonderful devotee said, pray for me. So I tried and I was struggling. I'm like, dear Krishna, please give what? They're doing great, Krishna. So what is the mood you should be in? What should you pray for fellow Vaishnavas or for normal people?
Well, you don't want to pray for something material. You want to pray for something that will be beneficial for them. And ultimately, we understand from our own experience that the most beneficial thing is to move that devotee, that person closer to their eternal relationship with Krishna. So a general prayer would be, my dear Lord, please show your mercy to that person and give him a chance to engage in your devotional service. That's a general prayer.
Wonderful.
You can be more specific also. Yeah, praying for something material may also cause the person to go down. Sometimes people want some prayers for something material. For instance, there was one, this is in the Christian tradition, there was one very devoted monk living in the ashram with all of the other Christians. And he was known as the most knowledgeable, and people would pray to him when they had some family sickness. So this person in my family is sick, or it's not something material. He would say, I can't do that. I can't pray because God has arranged this thing for this person. And ultimately, I don't want to interfere with God's plan for that person. Because material things, there's no such thing as good and bad in material life. Everything is bad because it's all
That's the key.
everything is bad in material life because it's all material. It leads one away from Krishna. So even getting some kind of material benefit may bring one farther away from one's relationship with Krishna. One may go down. Or even praying for someone to get some material benefit may cause them more suffering.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like people win the lottery, they get a lot of money, and then their life goes to hell. That's been proven by statistics. They think, oh, I've got a lot of money, now I'm happy. But then what will be the result? So many calamities come after that because they weren't destined to enjoy that.
Mm-hmm.
It says for the materialists, happiness and distress is already measured. They're due so much happiness and they're due so much distress. You can't change that.
So don't try to dodge it.
The thing is you can rise above it by coming to Krishna consciousness. Then you mitigate and you ultimately destroy all of the results of your material activities. That's the only way you can change it. It's explained that happiness comes, distress comes automatically by the arrangements of higher powers. You can't do anything about that. All you can do is become Krishna conscious and become purified, and then your karma that's due will be slowly nullified and ultimately gone. That's the only thing you can do. So people, just like give you an example, a person's living in a very cold place and they think, oh, so much suffering in the cold place, I'll just move to some nice warm climate. So they move to some warm climate.
You're describing one of my friends accurately, Maharaj. I should tell him this.
And then, he moves to a warm climate and he falls and breaks his leg on a bicycle or something. He's destined to get so much suffering and enjoyment. You can change how it comes, but you can't change the amount. That's for sure. And that's what the whole world is about, trying to push back suffering and increase enjoyment. But take a look at the world. It's a mess.
Oh, yes, it is.
It's a mess. People are suffering like crazy because they don't understand that you can't control material energy. It's controlled by Krishna. You're under the control of material energy.
Yes.
And the only way you can get out of the control of the material energy is take to the spiritual energy. That's the only way.
Okay. Maharaj, there's something you said there. You said sufferings are mitigated by taking to devotional service or turning to the spirit. Is it that it is mitigated, or is it that you are able to better handle it because you're on a spiritual platform?
That's part of it.
Yeah.
That's part of it. As you traverse through your practice of spiritual life and you make advancement, you also get the knowledge by which to see these things as not simply forms of suffering, but opportunities for spiritual advancement.
Wonderful.
Just like there is, for example, we preach in prisons. And we also hear from some of the inmates from prisons that they also consider going to prison to be one of the best things that ever happened to them.
Wow.
Because they met Krishna consciousness in prison. So what is good and what is bad in this world? Lord Chaitanya said, what does he say? Oh, it's a really powerful statement. A real powerful statement. I don't even know the reference of this. It's from the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Lord Chaitanya said, Bhadra Abhadra Sakale Sama, hey Manda, hey Bala, hey Brahma, something like that. Some people say this is good, and some people say this is bad. I say everything is bad.
Everything material is bad.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's material.
Yes, yes.
So that's Lord Chaitanya's statement. He's God.
Yes, yes.
Not just some great sadhu. He's actually the Supreme Lord telling us that anything material is bad because it leads one away from Krishna. Even the so-called good. It's like those who have a lot of material enjoyment, it's very hard for them to take to spiritual life. Until all of that becomes pulled out from underneath. Then they start realizing. So yeah, don't wait for the inevitable.
It's guaranteed.
Take the Krishna consciousness now, today, this moment. Don't start tomorrow or the day after. If you want to be free from the suffering, and if you want to express yourself as who you really are, a spiritual being.
Wonderful, Maharaj.
The bodily conception of life is so strong that even with all the philosophy and all the explanations and all of the examples, people still remain attached to material life. As it says, Apanapina Pashyati, second canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Apanapina Pashyati. They see, but they don't see. They see everybody suffering, but they still think that's not going to be for me.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you so much, Maharaj.
Thanks so much, Maharaj.
Thank you. Hemangi Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you for giving me the opportunity. Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. I just want beautiful class, Maharaj. A lot of points to gather from this class. So I just wanted to understand if my understanding is correct. So if we are to progress in Krishna's consciousness, first of all, we should define our goal and be serious about the goal. And then I was just thinking we should have a mentor to whom we are accountable, and he or she is watching our progress. Then only we can truly advance. Otherwise, a person like me hears and then is forgetting and doing something.
That's recommended. Yeah, we have established that system within the society of having a mentor to be accountable to help you on a day-to-day basis. Even along with the spiritual master. Yeah, that's recommended. Therefore, we have established in many places called the mentorship system. Even the devotee is initiated, they work under the guidance of a senior devotee in their area generally. So they can have personal communications with that person. And also put their questions to their mentor, get some advice practically. And the mentor has to be qualified also, of course. So there's a training session for making people qualified to become mentors. And then there's a training session for those who are mentees to practice under the guidance of the mentors. So it's like a guru system within the guru system, which helps to fortify and give extra amount of opportunities to stay fixed in devotional service. This is very much necessary in Kali Yuga, because Kali Yuga is so full of ways that one can get diverted and distracted. It's just unlimited.
Yeah. Thank you, Maharaj. My pronouns to you. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Thank you so much for wonderful question and answer sessions, Maharaj. And does anybody have any further questions would like to ask to Maharaj? Yes, Sakshi Mataji, please go ahead, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Maharaj, just a follow-up question on what you answered to Balkrishna Prabhuji. Like you said, nothing material can be used in devotional service, something like that. So
No,
I
no.
just wanted.
Everything can be used in devotional service, then it becomes spiritual. The material activities lead one away from Krishna. Material activities means outside of the guidance of the spiritual classes.
Okay. So Maharaj, can certain material prayers or material desires which are aligned to our spiritual life be justified? Like for an example, if someone is suffering from health condition, and if that is impeding their spiritual growth, so can they pray to the Lord to help them recover, or asking Lord for a supportive partner or something like that?
Srila Prabhupada dealt with that question directly when he got sick in 1974. Devotees were praying for Prabhupada to get his health back. Prabhupada said, I'll teach you how to pray. And this is a general prayer that is applicable in all situations. He says, you pray to the Lord, my dear Lord, if you so desire, please cure my friend, my parent, my spiritual man. In other words, if you so desire, we leave it up to Krishna. We don't say, my dear Lord, this is what I want, please cure this person. And you're telling Krishna what to do. We don't tell Krishna what to do because he knows exactly what to do. And so, but we offer our prayers to him, showing how we feel. If you so desire, please cure my friend, my mother, my son. If you so desire. So that's the pure prayer, not like, oh, this person is sick, please Krishna get him well again. Why would Krishna get involved with all of these things? He's not here to simply, he's not as Bhakti Siddhanta said, he's not your security guard. He's not your gardener. He's not your doctor.
order supplier.
He's your order supplier. He's the order giver. We take orders from him, not that we give to him. Because Krishna knows everything, past, present, and future, and Krishna does everything for the benefit of everyone. He doesn't act in a mean-spirited way. That's not the Supreme Lord. He's always well. What if he desires to cure someone? That's up to him. If he desires to allow that person to become sicker and die, that's also up to him. But then again, we have to act properly under the care of general principles. If we don't take care of our health, and we blame Krishna for being sick, and ask him to cure us every time, then what are we doing? We have to take care of our own health. But still, the material world will be, you'll find there's difficulties. That's the nature of the material world. There's people who don't take care of their health and they're healthy. And there's people who always take care of their health and they can't get good health. This is the nature of material life. Nothing is fixed in a certain way. Anything could happen in any situation.
And Maharaj, what if we... Yes, sorry, Maharaj.
So the prayer is, my dear Lord, you approach the Lord, my dear Lord, if you so desire. You have to include those 4 words. If you so desire, please cure my friend, So you're showing the Lord what you want, but you're leaving it up to him to decide. That's the point. You're not telling him what to do. You're telling him what you feel, but you're leaving it up to him to choose. And he can do it, and he will decide maybe it's better for this person to remain sick because maybe that'll be best for their Krishna consciousness. He sees everything, past, present, and future. You have to understand God doesn't make mistakes, and he's all good all at the same time. He's omniscient, omnipotent, and what's the other one? Omnipotent. He's all good, all powerful, and he knows everything. You don't have that faith, then how can you become Krishna conscious? Not possible.
And what if, Maharaj, we choose not to pray anything in regards to that and leave everything up to Krishna?
Oh, you make your prayer. Yes, I want this person to get healed, but still you allow Krishna to choose. You show Krishna how you feel. But you don't tell him
Got it,
how
Maharaj.
you feel. The child comes to the mother and says, I want this, but still it's the mother's choice whether to give it to the child or not. So same way, Krishna will hear our prayers, and if he decides to fulfill our prayers, that's up to him. He may.
Thank you so much, Maharaj.
Yeah, when the devotees were praying for Srila Prabhupada, he was really sick in 1974. The cumulative, Prabhupada said later, because of your prayers, Krishna heard your prayers, and I got my health back. So make those prayers, but make them in the right way. That's clear?
Yes, Maharaj. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Sri Devi Mataji, I think Kiran Prabhu has follow-up question for previous
Yes.
question. Can we go with Kiran?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Mataji. Kiran Prabhu, please go ahead, Prabhuji, with you.
Hare Krishna Maharaj,
Hare.
please accept my humble obeisances. My follow-up question is it okay to pray and say, Krishna, have mercy on this sick person.
Well, I said, you're not really saying anything, because what does it mean? That means you're allowing Krishna to choose how to distribute his mercy. Yeah, that's all right. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that prayer. And it's the same time you're leaving it up to Krishna. Yeah, have mercy on that person. But that doesn't mean cure him. It means show mercy. You have to understand, mercy is not what we decide it should be. Mercy is what's beneficial. See, Krishna sees things in the long run. We see things in the immediate. He knows everything about us. He knows what we're going to do, past, present, and future. He knows when we're going to die. He knows whether we're going to go back to Godhead. He knows everything. But he works in such a way when he sees his devotee moving away from him, he enters into the devotee's life and guides them in the right way. Therefore, he changes the destiny of the person, although the destiny is already there. That's his mercy. So by prayer, you can change the destiny of a certain person. It's already there. Krishna knows when you're going to, he knows everything. But it doesn't mean it's going to happen that way. It's going to happen that way if you continue to go the way you're going. But if you change the way you're going, you change your future also. And Krishna helps us to change the way we're going by giving his mercy to bring us closer to him. But still, he knows everything. He knows
Thank you, Guru.
because he knows whether we'll accept the mercy or we won't accept it. He knows also. Still, he gives us mercy.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Guru Maharaj, can we test the patience and kindness of Sridevi Mataji? I have a very, very quick follow-up.
Okay.
Thank you, Sridevi Mataji. So one of the things in the immediate discussion that came up is if a young person, a boy or a girl, about to enter Grihastha ashram, wants an amazing husband or wife in the Grihastha ashram, what are the modifiers they should use? Because they will have an idea of what they want while praying.
Well, how do they know what's good for them? Yeah, you want someone who is, if you're going to pray for a partner, you should pray for someone who's Krishna conscious.
Wonderful, wonderful. Yeah, that's the basics. Yeah. Don't tack on too much more than that. Okay.
Someone who is engaged in devotional service.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sridev. Yeah.
Thank you. Sridevi Mataji, please go ahead, Mataji.
Thank you so much. Guru Maharaj, just a follow-up question. And now with all the other questions, I'm not sure I can remember exactly, but I'm trying to think. Yeah, it's the verse you quoted, 2:14, Pashyannapi na pashyati. They see, but they do not see. And I'm remembering Srila Prabhupada's explanation that if it's a goat or a hen or a sheep, they're seeing, I mean, they know, they don't know. Right in front of them, the things are being slaughtered, but because they are not aware, they're still continuing to eat grass and continuing. They don't know next it's their turn. But a human being, he has eyes, he has brain, he can see everyone. How is it that they see and they do not see? How is that possible?
Well, Maya.
Ah.
Maya means illusion. Seeing means seeing properly, not just using these two balls, which we call eyes, calling that seeing. Two people can see the same thing using these eyes and come up with two different explanations of the same thing.
Now I get it, Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Seeing means seeing through the eyes of knowledge. But I mean, our eyes are deceptive. But if you're looking through knowledge, then you're seeing. If you're looking through these balls, what do you see? You see different forms, different movements of the forms. And you make judgment based on that, or you make some understanding based on that. One who actually sees that all living entities are parts and parcels of Krishna, and they're within Krishna. That's actual seeing. That's mentioned in the Vedic. Go to who is our host there? Vardhana.
Yeah, yes,
Go to Bhagavad Gita 435.
yeah. Vinita Gandharvika Mataji, can you please share?
Yeah, 435. Yes, Maharaj. Give me a second, Maharaj.
Thank you so much, Mataji.
Read the translation.
Having obtained real knowledge from the self-realized soul, you will never fail again into such illusion. For by this knowledge, you will see that all living beings are but part of the Supreme, or in other words, they are mine.
Yeah, so this is seeing properly through knowledge. All living beings are part of the Supreme, and they belong to Krishna. That is knowledge of reality. That's reality. They're not the bodies, nor the different cultures that their bodies may exhibit. They are spiritual beings. And all life is spiritual. And this statement is made by Krishna. It's not made by, a self-realized soul. It is made by Krishna. So see, Krishna says, having obtained real knowledge from a self-realized soul, you will never fall again into such illusion. And so this is called Shastra Chakshus. Chakshus means to see. Shastra means the point of vision. So seeing through knowledge rather than seeing through our material vision. Prabhupada makes a very simple example. A person in the family dies, and the body is laying there. And the person in the family is saying, "Oh, my father is gone. He's gone. He's gone." And someone else said, "What do you mean he's gone? He's right there." Well, he's not gone. He's there. No, he's gone. He's gone. So what's gone? That's the point. What that thing that you call your father is no longer there. That means the soul has left the body. That's what's gone. That's the person, not the body they inhabit. So if we develop relationships on a spiritual platform, we still can find happiness in all varieties of relationships that come by way of material variety. Relationships with friends, with parents, with relatives, all of these, with people in general, all of these relationships are nice when we see Krishna in the relationship and see Krishna as the source of this this living being. Otherwise, that's why we exploit each other, because everything exploitation is based on the idea of a body. My body is better than your body. Therefore, I'll take advantage of my situation being in a superior material position. And that's the problems in the world. Therefore, Prabhupada used to say, everyone in the material world is an illusion. They're suffering, they're an illusion, and they continue to do the same thing. So Krishna consciousness is the solution for all the problems.
Thank you so much, Maharaj, for wonderful explanation.
Yeah, Krishna conscious person doesn't exploit others. Krishna conscious person is kind to others. Krishna conscious person likes to serve others. Krishna conscious person is always working for the benefit of others. That's one of the main characteristics of Krishna consciousness. They work for the benefit of others. Okay, go back to the gallery there. There you go. I'm still here. I have plenty of time tonight if there's any more questions. Otherwise, we can end it here.
Anybody have any follow-up questions, sir, you want to ask to Maharaj?
Guru Maharaj, do you have time for some chanting by any chance?
Well, I don't know if that's part of the program. They do their Japa beforehand on this Charlotte program. Yeah. They chant first and then they do class.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay, we can end here.
Yeah, thank you so much, Prabhu Maharaj, for very informative class, and patiently have answered all our questions. Thank you so much, Maharaj, for your enlightening class today, and we are very grateful to you, and we always look forward for your association again and again in the future, Maharaj. Let us pay obeisances to Maharaj and all the devotees. Vancha
कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्यश्च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः।
वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः।
की जय।
Candramauli Swami Maharaj ki jai.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Hare Bol.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Bol.
Hare Bol.
Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe. Thank you, Maharaj. Hare